Happy Wednesday, everybody. Kamari Ellis here, the Finance Rebel. Y'all know it's Wednesday, so this is the segment of our Finance Rebel show where I answer your money questions. Any questions you have about taxes, stocks, business, personal finance. If it's a question about money, it's on the table. We can talk about it. So welcome, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Let's get into the show. Let's get into the program. Any questions you might have, again, on money, be sure to go ahead and throw them in the comment section, the chat section, or the little question mark section on IG, because I'm broadcasting live on IG, on Facebook, and on YouTube all at the same time. So again, welcome as we do. And it seems like we already have one question, and it's from Mrs. Gales. Mrs. Gales, I hope I'm saying your name right. Don't let me mispronunciate your name. I hate messing up people's names. It happened to me way too many times when I was a youth, so I guess I'm scarred in my adulthood now. So let me know if I'm saying your name wrong. All right, so Mrs. Gale's question is, I'm new and don't understand what Vanguard ETF is. Okay, so Vanguard, let's break this down, right? So there's a couple of different things here. Vanguard is just the company. Vanguard is the one that makes the product, like Toyota is the one that makes the Celica or the Supra or even the Lexus. All right, ETF is just what it is. An ETF stands for Exchange Traded Fund, Exchange Traded Fund. And so that's just a product that they make, right? It's very much similar to a mutual fund, right? Just like Toyota makes a car, right? Vanguard makes ETF. There are a lot of other people who make ETFs or mutual funds out there. I'm a big fan of ETFs. They give a lot of flexibility. They give a lot of tax. They give a lot of tax freedom as well. And so I'm a big fan of them. But what is an ETF, right? An ETF is an exchange traded fund. Again, it's an exchange traded fund. And I know you're probably saying, like, what does that mean, Kamari? What in the world is an exchange traded fund? All right, so real quick and simple. An exchange traded fund is like a bucket, right? And it usually has investments in it. It could be stocks, it could be bonds, it could be currencies, it could be a lot of different things. If you just Google ETF, matter of fact, if you go to Investopedia, it'll give you a great definition. But again, it's just a basket. It's a basket of investments. Again, it could be stocks, it could be currency, it could be commodities like a gold or oil. It could be, I said bonds already, right? But here's the thing. Within those buckets, you can get really, really specific. So within the stock bucket, you could have finance stocks or bank stocks or insurance stocks or technology stocks, right? You could also have international stocks. You could also have stocks that are just for China, stocks that are just for Africa, stocks that are just for Europe, right? On the stock side. And again, you could have ETFs that just concentrate on currencies like the Japanese yen or the British pound or the euro out of the Eurozone. So it's just, again, it's a great way to kind of diversify your holdings and really make it a bit easier to make some investment decisions. For example, let's say you like technology. Technology has been burning it up. Has been burning it up in terms of stock performance, right? So we have stocks like Apple, like Microsoft. Some people would say Tesla. I'm not going to throw Tesla in the mix, right? But you'll find Microsoft and Apple in many ETFs. And if you just wanted to solely invest in the technology space, you could pick an ETF that's specialized on that. All right. And so Vanguard has a whole lot of ETFs. Vanguard's thing is low cost ETFs. So it's really good on that front. Hopefully I answered your question, but let me know if you need more. I'll be more than willing to talk to you about ETFs. I've been published about them, written about them, given speeches, and spoke about them. So I really am a fan of ETFs. All right. Tax T Tammy, how you doing? Welcome to Wealthy Wednesdays. Typical Vanity, how are you? Welcome. I am Aisha. Welcome. Trey 3, what up, Trey? Omega Man 625, welcome. JP, how are you? Joe Brown Construction, what's up, bro? What do you want to know about? Oh, by the way, Ms. Gales, I have a whole bunch of ETF or videos about ETFs on my YouTube channel. If you want, just send me an inbox and I'll send you over some. How are they purchased? That's a great question. I should have answered that in the go around. They are purchased through a brokerage account. So if you have an app like a Robinhood, which has been in the news a lot lately, or Fidelity or Charles Schwab, or even Cash App, you can buy ETFs through your Cash App as well. So it's very easy. It's just like you buy a stock. Same thing. You can buy Vanguard. You can buy Vanguard ETFs through all of those brokerage accounts. It's pretty easy. Melody Alton, what's up, bro? How you doing? So Joe Brown, what do you want to learn about? You want to learn about ETFs? I just kind of covered it. Let me know if you want me to cover something else. All right, not a problem. So let's say what's up to the people on Facebook. So we got Katisa. What's up, Katisa? How you doing? Jose, my brother Don Johnson's here, so we can get a party started. Tara, how you doing, Tara? Adrian. Oh, and Senna Ellis, my wife's on. I think this is like the first broadcast my wife's ever been on. What's up? Ladina's on. What's up, 5-Star Tax Solutions? How you doing? Miss Edith, what's up, Miss Edith? She says, good evening, Kamari. What do you think about Jeff Bezos stepping down? Well, he stepped down. Jeff Bezos stepped down. But guess what? He's still the boss. So many times people kind of get this confused. Jeff Bezos has stepped down as CEO. However, Jeff Bezos is still the chairman of the board, the executive chairman of the board. And many people think the CEO runs the place. And that's true for some of your smaller companies. And don't get me wrong, right? CEOs definitely have power. But it's really the chairman of the boards of these publicly traded companies that really have the juice. The CEOs are there to execute the plan and make, tactical decisions. The board oftentimes, though, is the one that comes up with strategy, with many decisions and things like that. So the board is where the real power resides. All right. That's where the real power resides. And so I think Jeff B has like 150 Bs, right? 150 billion. I want to say 157 billion, even after basically giving his wife a hefty lump sum of money in a divorce settlement, which she deserved. All right. I don't want y'all to be confused. She definitely deserved that money. She helped build that company. All right. So she was able to, do her thing, and he still has $150 billion. So he's run the company for 27 years. He's good. So I guess he wants to take a break and do some other things. Maybe play with his space exploration company that he has. So I don't know. Christy Miller, what's up, family? How you doing? Welcome. All right, y'all. Y'all know every Wednesday we do Wealthy Wednesdays. Do me a favor. If you know anybody that's looking to up or increase their financial IQ, I try to make money simple, easy, and fun. So share this with them. Share this out with them. No problem, Edith. My pleasure. Yep, still a boss, man. Yep. All right, so Thad, my man Thad Green. How you doing, Thaddeus? How long do you think stock wars will last? I don't really think it's a stock war, to be honest with you. I think, I know folks were mad, right? But listen, I called all this, all of it. And I don't say that to brag. I say that to say I've been around for a while. This ain't my first rodeo, folks. What did I tell y'all? I said the SEC is going to step in and they're going to start regulating. What happened? The SEC stepped in and he started to regulate. Listen, I have no problem with individual investors. I love the individual investor, right? Y'all are the individual investor. I talk to y'all because y'all the individual investor. I love y'all. I don't really care about the hedge funds. However, there's still a time and place and way to do things. So when you get in the Reddit rooms where everybody's anonymous and nobody knows who's who, and you start aligning yourself to pump up and dump, right? Because we saw these stocks fall. We saw them run up and we also saw them fall. The markets, the government doesn't like that. It's not good for the markets. And somebody's going to do something about it. And I think we got about a week. We got about a week's in, about a weekend, right? And here we are. Last time I looked, GameStop was less than $100. So what did GameStop close at today? GameStop closed at $92.41. Now, if y'all remember last week, I want to say it was last Wednesday, GameStop touched $500 a share. Oh, what a ride it was. Talk about a roller coaster. Johnny Mac, how you doing, Johnny? How you been, brother? Hope all is well on your side. But GameStop has been riding like a roller coaster. Reminds me of one of my favorite Stevie Wonder songs. You got me riding on a rocket, and then you stop. You got a half a mile from heaven, and then you turn your heart into a cold, cold world. I think I'm messing with the quote, but y'all get it, right? Y'all get it. GameStop went to heaven. It stopped. It was riding on a rocket, and it sent them all back down to this cold, cold world. It came back to reality, y'all. I mean, it's not a surprise, or at least it wasn't a surprise for me. And as I always try to do, I try to keep y'all up to date with my thoughts and my commentary on the markets and just money overall. And it happened. Now, I say all these things because I do get up here and talk a little trash. I can't help it. It's how I was raised. I was raised around like 20 or 25, 30 savage dudes, and all we do is talk trash and talk about each other's mother. So I'm kind of accustomed to that, right? And so what happens is a lot of times y'all don't get to see this. I get these strange inboxes or people jump in the comments and they talk reckless to me. And then so when it's my turn, I talk reckless back just a little bit. I'm not going to get disrespectful, but I let y'all say all these things because one, it's fun, right? Because I get the heckle of the hecklers back. And two, because it's true. You saw all these Reddit people, they got upset because they said Robinhood, right? If y'all remember going back, because I've been talking about this on radio all week for like the last week, even yesterday. Everybody was saying, well, Robinhood's for the hedge fund. No, Robinhood's for regulation that they can't get out of because they're still a brokerage account. Sorry, not sorry. They got to do what they got to do. It's like being in school and your teacher comes to regulate. All right. And if that doesn't work, they call the vice principal and or the principal or the head of disciplinary. That's what happens, y'all. That's the mode of operations. That's not going to deviate. And so when you mess up the class and you start acting like a clown, you're either going to get put out of class, get sent to detention hall, get called by the principal, or get sent home to your mama or your daddy. It happens, y'all. It's not that difficult. That was don't hate on me, Dwight. Come on, man. We bros. Nah, Dwight's my brother, y'all. So what questions y'all got? What y'all got for me? I see a couple people have followed in on Instagram. What y'all got? Real Estate John FC. How you doing, bro? Good to see you. Hope all is well. Taylin Janelle. Yep, Taylin Janelle. I think I got it right. Let me know if I got it wrong. How are you? Welcome. All right, so what y'all want to talk about tonight? I can keep going if y'all want. Did anybody see the guy who started all the Reddit beef? Did anybody see him? My man lost $13 million the other day. Still up by 7, but he lost $13 million on GameStop. I told y'all to get out, didn't y'all? I told y'all. Now, I don't know if y'all remember this, right? But if anybody remembers Lil Boosie's daughter when Lil Boosie came home, she's like, I told y'all. I'm not going to say everything she said because she was definitely disrespectful, but it's still funny and it's a hilarious meme. But I told y'all, my man took a $13 million dip. Now, there were some people that made some money. There was a young black kid who got some GameStop shares for Kwanzaa, and I'm cheering for him. I'm happy for him because I think he got either 10 or 50 shares, turned into about $6,000 for a black 10-year-old celebrating Kwanzaa. And he was able to come up off that. I'm here for all of that. But listen, when you see these weird things happen in the market, no, it is not going to last forever. Sorry, not sorry, but it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, so 5-star Ladina. What do you think about so many investing apps appearing to be the latest trend in the investing world? I think it's par for the course. I think all these investing apps, some are cool, right? I talk about Cash App a lot because a lot of people use it. It's on a safe platform. It's owned by Square. Square's got the bag. They got about 150 billion in assets. I don't think Square is going anywhere, right? That is not an endorsement for Square, though. They are not paying me for advertisement. on this show. All right, but it works. It works. I use Square. I got my wife using Square. I think she's still on air. You would think she would just buy stock automatically, but a man can't be a prophet in his own home. But she uses it. She's been buying Dollar Tree. She loves Dollar Tree. So I told her to start buying Dollar Tree. Might as well make money off the places that we are helping to support. But you got N1 Financial, you got Robinhood, you have Robinhood, N1 Financial, Public. The Ivy Investor, my homegirl Courtney, just sent me a request to Public. Now this is funny, right? Because she's starting to transfer her stuff over to Public, and she closed the Robinhood account. Matter of fact, she's got a brand new blog post. I'll find it and put it up. Really, really explaining a lot of the stuff that happened last week with GameStop, with AMC, and also with Robinhood. But she announced that she's moving her stuff to Public, which is another one of these investing apps. And so I said, send me the referral link, because a lot of times if you send out a referral link, anybody can do this, right? You'll get a free stock, I'll get a free stock, and we keep it pushing like that. But she sent it to me. I already had a profile, and they had like $28 on there. So I must have brought something like last year. I think like in May or April, something like that. So I need to go back and check it out. But I don't have a problem with any of the apps. I really am for the retail investor, the mom and pop investor, the little guy, the little gal being able to invest responsibly, invest with an educated perspective, and get to this money. I love the stock market. The stock market, to me, is one of the best places to get money. Why? Because y'all see me, I'm black, right? Can't get around it. It's not going nowhere. People have even told me I sound black. Whatever that means. I know what it means, but it's all good, right? But the market don't care about what your creed is, what your religion is, what your race is, what your sexual orientation is, what your gender is. All the market cares about is how much money do you have to put on that trade. And now with these new apps, you only need $1 to start investing. I brought some money. I brought some investments on Robinhood like 2 weeks ago because I had like $4 or $5 in there. And I brought $5 a share. I brought $5 of a marijuana share, and I brought $2 of a marijuana stock. So you can buy fractional shares. That's the beauty of technology. So I'm all for these investment apps. However, when you see what happened to a Robinhood because of much of the frenzy in the market, I'm not mad at Robinhood. Robinhood wasn't protecting the hedge funds. Robinhood, again, was trying to stay in compliance. If you don't know what stay in compliance means, they were trying to not get in trouble with the powers that be so they can keep their business running. It is a business, right? They're there to make money. They're not there to just, again, appeal to the whims of these guys that are on Reddit who are mainly nameless. So, but let me find Courtney's article, and I want to put it in the chat so people can check it out. Courtney is a very good writer. Pray, you like Bitcoin, huh? I was talking to your dad earlier about Bitcoin. He loves Bitcoin. I'm cool with Bitcoin. I was labeled a Bitcoin hater back in 2017 because I called the bubble. It's cool. Bitcoin's cool. Listen, blockchain's here. Not necessarily Bitcoin, but blockchain is here. Blockchain is a platform that all the cryptocurrencies ride on, right? And I don't know if Bitcoin ever becomes the money of the day, because I do feel that the federal government is not going to allow any other competition in terms of currency. By the way, Bitcoin is not a currency, y'all. I know many people call it that, but it's not technically a currency. All right. But there are uses for Bitcoin. There are uses for other cryptocurrencies. Ethereum is another big one. All right. And so, all right, Trey says a lot of hype behind it. A couple of athletes at the major levels signing contracts and getting Bitcoin as paychecks. That's cool. I get it. You need people to promote it. But one of the things I'm really leery of is any kind of government intervention. I guess maybe I shouldn't use the word leery in that context, right? I am hesitant to say that Bitcoin is going to be the end all be all. At the end of the day, if Bitcoin is truly to be a currency, you don't really invest in currency the way that you see Bitcoin run. And that's one of the reasons why I say it's not a currency. But, again, I don't have a problem with Bitcoin. People think I do, but I really don't. King Dirty 253, how you doing? Realtor Chris, how you doing? Happy Wednesday to all of you. Listen, all y'all, do me a favor. I am fighting the algorithms, y'all. Got a black man up here talking about money and finance, trying to empower the people. Help me fight the man. Like this, share it with somebody who needs to learn about investments and money from somebody who's not trying to sell them that $5,000 course. Got a lot of folks out here doing that. So, and listen, I don't have a problem with people making money. I do think some people that are saying that they're here to make money, and some people are here to say that they're here to help the community. There's a thin line there. I think that gets crossed often. But either way, it's all good. It's all good. Do me a favor, share it. Share this out with someone so I can help more people. I think my track record is pretty solidified. I've been here rocking with y'all long enough for years and years. So I think y'all see my true intentions. Again, I'm with making money though. I like eating a little steak, a little scallop, going on a nice little vacation. So we all need money. Got to keep the light bills on. Got to keep food on the table. All right. So Adrian says, what goes up must come down. Right, wives. All right. Why didn't Google or Ford stock move after that merger? Well, Ford and Google did not merge. Ford is going to use Google's Android platform in their cars. And Ford did go up. I've been meaning to share this. I made some money the other day, maybe about $500 on some options. Now, y'all know I don't really talk about options that much because I'm here for the beginner. However, I said I was going to talk about it because I got so much flack when I started investing in Ford. And so, as I always tell y'all, I talk trash to people that talk trash to me. And so I caught a nice little bag on some money that I forgot about, to be totally honest with y'all. I spent about $60 on some Ford call options. They're leaps, right? So leaps are long-term options. They don't expire, right, until I want to say January of next year. So they're long-term. And so I spent like $60 on it, and they ran up to about $500. I sold a couple contracts, cashed out, and then I laughed at the people who told me that I didn't know what I was doing. By the way, y'all, I'm probably like the only person that y'all know that has actually invested on an institutional level with folks on Wall Street. But many people like to heckle me because I stick to my lane with the beginners, because I feel beginners actually need more help than many of the other folks. So I'm afraid of the markets because many times, especially in my community, nobody was thinking about the stock market. I'm an anomaly. I've been looking at the stock market for years. I mean, I was blessed though too, right? My dad brought some General Dynamic, not General Electric, but General Dynamic years ago. And he would always get dividend checks. Every quarter he would get a dividend check. So that helped fuel my fascination with the market. And it's funny, you see things sometimes as a kid, you don't even realize the impact it had on you. But I always saw those checks. And one day when I started learning, I said, Dad, why did you get the checks? Because he would just put it in the bank. I said, you should have reinvested those dividends and bought more stock. And he's like, well, I don't know about this. So he didn't know. He brought something he didn't know about. But again, his actions, what he did, I mean, the positions he put me in helped to heighten my awareness, kind of open my third eye to a certain degree. And so that's another reason why I'm so passionate about talking about this stuff. I mean, because I get it. I see it. You see people like Elon Musk, who ran the bag up during this whole pandemic. We had a whole crash in April, and he wound up making, I want to say like somewhere between 50 and $100 billion in the stock market, because his wealth is tied to his company, which is Tesla. By the way, we're going to have a conversation about Tesla, but we'll come back to that. But he was able to run it up. So why can't my folks get some of that money, especially with all this new technology that's out there. There's money out here for everybody, and we should be about getting our own fair share. All right, so that's just how I feel about it. But Dwight, I hope I didn't go off on too much of a tangent on your question. All right, so I want to show this real quick, and I'll put it in the comments. Always got to show love to my homegirl Courtney. All right, so she says it's time to leave Robinhood. So she does an excellent job on her blog post going into this, as there's no such thing as free lunch. Right, we're very much in alignment on our outlooks on what happened with Robinhood, GameStop, AMC last week. But Courtney also worked in a professional capacity too. She was a stockbroker before as well. So she gets it. She understands the inner workings of a thing. All right. And then she talked about, again, how Robinhood went down, what happened, how there was a capital call, right? So when things start happening crazy in the market, some of the regulators will ask for more money from the brokers. And Robinhood got asked for about $3 billion. So that's why they stopped letting people buy GameStop, because the regulators said, oh, you got to put up more money since you got all this craziness going on. And like 4 out of 5 people on the Robinhood platform own GameStop. Now that's a hell of a stat, y'all. 4 out of 5 people on the platform, all those millions of folks. So listen, when y'all get a chance, go check out Courtney's new blog post. It's very informational and it's good stuff. Good stuff. Miss Stacy, how are you? Ozzy Renee, how are you? Welcome, everybody. Bossing up biz. I like that. What kind of biz we bossing up? Boss up biz. All right, so listen, what other questions we got, folks? What other questions we got? All right, so Johnny Mac asking, what do you think about Stash? Stash is good. I haven't used Stash though, full disclosure. I haven't used it, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. Stash is one of those apps like an Acorn. So Acorn, you get to round up the coins. So let's say you go to the local bodega, the Target or Walmart. Let's say you spend $19.50 buying your local groceries, right? They will then take the extra 50 cents, round it up to $20, and they'll take that 50 cents and put it into your investment account. So it's kind of like a way to force save. So I like it. One thing I don't like about it, just being totally honest and transparent, is I'm not in control of picking my investments, but I do like the forced savings aspect of it. So I like it. Hey, Rhonda, where you been, Rhonda? I ain't seen you in a while. You been ducking us? All right, what's your opinions on troptions? What's a troption? I need to Google that one. I know a lot, but I don't know it all. What is a troption? This looks interesting. But troptions, so it looks like it's some type of crypto. So I'm going to have to look this up. Rhonda, I'm going to have to look this up, because I have not read it. I have not, again, I'm not the crypto guy. I understand it. I get down with it, but I wouldn't call myself an expert on it. I do understand. I understand the basics though. All right, so Trey's trying to pull it out of me. Why don't you like Tesla? Why don't I like Tesla? Anybody want to take that? I think I made my position clear. I've said it enough times, haven't I, folks? All right, Trey, since we peoples, I gotta tell you why I don't like Tesla. And listen, I don't think the market's going to listen right now, because the market is not running off of fundamentals. Tesla doesn't make any money. Now, I said I was going to dedicate a whole video to this. I just haven't had a chance to do it, but I want to show y'all an article I just read the other day titled Tesla's Dirty Little Secret. All right, it's called Tesla's Dirty Little Secret. And I'm just going to go through it. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to hit a couple of highlight points. All right. For the record, Tesla just reported earnings last week. They reported that they made profits, and those profits would make them profitable for the last 6 quarters, right? And remember, a quarter is 3 months. So the last 6 quarters, what's it, about 18 months, something around there. All right, so this is an article from CNBC. All right, Trey, stay with me for a minute. This is an article for CNBC. All right, so it says, Tesla's dirty little secret. Its net profits doesn't come from selling cars. I need a soundboard. Where's Tracy? If anybody ever watches the Black Wealth Project on Sundays, my co-host Tracy is like our soundboard engineer. So she normally has the air horns. I need an air horn. All right, so Tesla's dirty little secrets. Its net profits doesn't come from selling cars. Welcome, all right. Where in the hell does Tesla's profits come from? I mean, they don't come from selling cars. That's quite odd. Wouldn't you say? Wouldn't you say that's quite odd? I would. All right, so Tesla posted its first full year of net income in 2020, but not because of sales to its customers. 11 states require automakers sell a certain percentage of zero emissions vehicles by 2025. If they cannot, the automakers have to buy regulatory credits. Now, don't lose me here, y'all. Have to buy some regulatory credits from another automaker that meets those requirements, such as Tesla. Tesla meets the requirements. Many other auto companies do not. Because Tesla primarily make electric cars. It's a lucrative business for Tesla, bringing in $3.3 billion over the course of the last 5 years. $3.3 billion. What was Tesla's net profit the last quarter? Something like 200 million-ish, 200, 300 million-ish. That might sound just about right. All right. Over the course of the last 5 years, nearly half of that in 2020 alone. So half of 3.3 billion they got in 2020 alone. So that's roughly $1.65 billion. All right. The 1.6 in regulatory credits is received last year far outweighs Tesla's net income of 721 million, meaning Tesla would have otherwise posted a net loss in 2020. I tell y'all all the time. What do I tell y'all all the time about Tesla? Tesla's trash. I know. Lord forgive me. I know the Tesla bots, the Tesla fans, the Tesla stands, the Elonites, the people that worship at the tabernacle of Deacon Bishop, Mr. Musk, will be mad that I said that. But listen, your company's been around for over 10 years and it's still not making any money. Not taking anything away from the product. Not taking anything away from Elon's so-called genius. But if they're touting numbers that really aren't numbers, what does that make you? Now, for the record, I didn't do a solo video about this because I didn't have time to go back and really do my due diligence and jump in and confirm all the numbers. I'm sure the numbers have been fact checked, but I wanted to be able to understand the numbers and try to relate it more to y'all because again, this has been going on for the last 5 years, right? And again, half of that money, that $3.3 billion, again, 3.3 billion with a B, it's a big old B, was made in 2020. So potentially they would have showed of loss had they not been selling these regulatory credits. I don't know. What do y'all think? What do y'all think about that? No, bossing up biz, it cannot be compared to Amazon. It's totally different. Totally different. I've heard that argument before, so I'm totally prepared to spar with you tonight. The reason why it's different is part of what Amazon did, part of their strategy, is that they actually reinvested their profits. Right, so everybody's talking about Amazon now. Amazon's been taking losses and all that. Actually, Amazon strategically has been taking losses because they take their profits and reinvest their profits back into R&D, back into marketing, back into other things. Because Jeff Bezos, who we talked about earlier, didn't give a hootenanny. I'm trying to think of creative words besides cuss words. I told you I was going to stop cussing on the show as much. But he didn't care what the flunk that Wall Street analysts thought about him missing earnings. He didn't. It's well documented. All you got to do is Google it, y'all. It's well documented. So he took that money, he put it back into Amazon, into the business. He reinvested in the business. He didn't make up his losses to show that he actually was making money like everybody else does. And everybody else uses that analogy. It's totally different. Jeff Bezos, in my opinion, is light years ahead of Elon Musk, but whatever. So it, it is what it is. Rhonda, I'm going to come back to Troptions. I'm actually going to make a note of that to make sure I look it up. Troptions. Sounds like Tropicana orange juice, but I don't know. I didn't cash out on Robinhood. You can't really cash out on Robinhood because Robinhood is not publicly traded. But a lot of people were upset with Robinhood. Oh, Don shared it too. Thanks, Don. Appreciate you, brother. All right, so Adrian Anderson says Ethereum is off the chain today. I'm holding on until the government says they are going to either get a piece of it or put the kibosh on it. Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. Makes sense to me. All right, so a boss up biz says black-owned business. So that's what you're bossing up. I like that. What type of black-owned business, though? All right, Ray Mays B, how are you? Size Sexy 47, hello. And Real Estate Bully, how you doing? Baldy Moment, I'm sorry. How you doing? Is there a reason to be upset with Robinhood? No, Trey, there's not a reason to be upset with Robinhood. People are mad because people are massively informed. I mean, people don't read. And when people do read, oftentimes they don't comprehend. So reading is fundamental. So, all right. So Boss Up Biz, there are times when you reinvest profits. So, all right, let's say you have a business. Let's say you make $1 million, and let's say you intentionally, right? And let's say, all right, let me back up. You made $1 million, right? And your profit is 500,000. You have 500,000 clear in the bank, but you say, you know what? I'm going to intentionally reinvest it back into my business. I'm going to buy a printer. I'm going to schedule some conferences. I'm going to pay for some other travel. I'm going to do some research and development, and it costs 500,000. Let's say it costs $501. So that $501 now has made you a loss. It's a loss. So but you get to reduce some of your tax liability as well. But that's part of another strategy. But it's not profit at that point. No. So bossing up is like, I like to have fun. Please don't take that like I want to argue with you. I don't. I'm not. I'm just having fun. All right. So she says, wait, or you said wait, because I don't know if you're a man or a woman. So excuse me. Says, wait, reinvesting profits is considered a loss. It can be. All right. I don't understand truly. I don't consider that a loss. Not sparring here, just trying to understand. Yeah, listen, it's just fun. So don't take it like that. But again, you had $1 million in sales that year. All right. You have $500,000 in profit. And you say, you know what? It's the end of the year. I don't want to use all my money and pay Uncle Sam for my money. I want to reinvest it back in my business so I can make even more money. By the way, this is a jewel, y'all. Most businesses that really get it big reinvest heavy into their businesses. They don't take it out. They don't take it out to try to go buy lavish things and go on trips and buy luxury cars and luxury clothes and pop bottles. They reinvest in their business. All right. So they say, you know what? So instead of paying Uncle Sam this super large tax bill, I'm going to use it in my business, whatever it may be. So yes, you can do that. And Amazon did that heavy. But so did Microsoft, so did Cisco, so did any other major company in the world out here. All right. Karan says, I want to learn about this thing, this long-term call thing. Okay, Karan, we can talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it on the show, though. The show is for beginners. I only brought that up because folks was talking trash to me. I don't like people talking trash to me. I don't mind. But guess what? At some point, maybe not right in the present moment, but at some point, I'll go talk trash back, and you're gonna be mad about it. All right. So they didn't cash out. That's fine. All right. Yeah, Don, her new site is fire. It's talking about Courtney's site, the Ivy investor. Her new site is fire. Don, tag her and tell her that. Rhonda Cox says now Acorn charges a fee. Oh, I didn't know that. I did not know that. All right, Robinhood was never a place for my money for two reasons. No IRAs and hard to get someone on the phone. Customer service matters. Another business tip, y'all. Customer service matters. So I agree. I do have some money over there, but a lot of my money might have came from when I was experimenting with the platform. I got some free shares because people brought in with me. They got a free share. I got a free share. But no, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Right. Matter of fact, let me put this. I'm going to put this in the chat section. Karan, you are right. You are right. But nobody talks about that. You would have thought all these years with all that hype that some analyst some Wall Street analyst somewhere covering Tesla stock would have known about that, right? But they didn't. Interesting. So it's funny. It's funny, y'all. Again, some people will show you things. There's a lot of hype. There's a lot of scammers out here in these social media streets, on these Wall Street streets, on the real streets. We always got to be on guard. We always got to be on the lookout for people that's trying to extract our cash from our pocketbooks and from our wallets. Sadly. So I just put that in the comments. Y'all can read that. Y'all can read that if you want when you get a chance. All right. But again, I don't think it's detracted anybody from going to pay their tithes at the house of Elon. I think everybody is going to bathe themselves in Lake Minka Elon, or I'm trying to do the Prince thing. That's not working. I can't get it to work. And I'm thinking about the Lake of Minnetonka. So I was going to say the Lake of Elon Tonka. But I messed it up, y'all. But yeah, again, they make great vehicles. They have a distribution problem. And so since they have a distribution problem, it's going to be hard for them to hit some of the numbers that they promised for so long. But they've got plenty of VC money and private equity money backing them. So they're cool. They are cool. Hey, Angela. How you doing? All right, everybody. Angela said hello to everyone. Make sure y'all say hi to Angela. All right. Karan says Tesla almost 20 years old. I'm not sure. I know they're more than 10 now. All right. Thad Green says Webull pre-market starts at 4 a.m. and pre-market ends at, yes. So you're talking about post-market. Pre-market starts at 4 a.m. in the morning. Post-market ends at 8 p.m. Listen, y'all. I don't want none of y'all doing no transactions pre or post-market. It's too risky. I tell people this all the time, and they always seem to ignore me for some reason. And then they always come back and say, Kamari, I got twisted in pre-market trying to get out of stock. Stick to 9:30 to 4 p.m., y'all. 9:30 to 4 p.m. Don't mess with pre and post markets. Again, GameStop was up to $500 pre-market. Today it's down to less than $100. So what would have happened if you would have brought in that pre-market on that day? You be losing your shirt. Like I told y'all, my man lost 13 million. The main guy that pumped up a lot of this Reddit phenomenon with GameStop lost some bread. Now I will say about this guy, I'm trying to remember his name. It's something Kitty. I'll tell you in 1 second. I will say this about this guy. He's not a dummy, and he's not a novice. This guy is a whole CFA. Now, what is the CFA? CFA stands for Chartered Financial Analyst. So he took the time to get that certification. It's one that I respect highly. Matter of fact, I took the test and I failed it. I plan on going back and take it another time because there's 3 parts to it. I plan on going back to take it at some point just because my ego won't let it rest. But clearly he understands. He at least has a theoretical understanding of the market. And I would say it's probably a little bit deeper than that. But his name is Roaring Kitty. The Roaring Kitty lost a whole bunch of money on this trade. He's still up about $7 million though. So Winfred Rose says, best way to become a day trader, don't become a day trader. My thing is for beginners. We really don't preach day trading. Most traders lose 95% of the time. Only about 5% of day traders actually make money. So my advice would be not to do it. Mac Maya, how you doing? Hey. All right. So, right. You know what? Thank you. It is aftermarket. It's not post-market. It's aftermarket. Priscilla Cobb, how you doing? Happy Wednesday. Miss Edith and Miss Angela exchanging greetings. Miss Edith shared. Thank you, Miss Edith. Thank you. Listen, y'all could all follow suit and do the same thing. Please share this out. We are fighting against the algorithms, y'all. So be sure to share it. Mia, am I saying it right? Mia? I'm sorry. My apologies. Y'all know I don't like messing up names. I can't tell you how many different variations of Kamari I've been called, from Camaro to calamari. None of them make any sense. I know y'all are probably laughing, but it's all good. Evelyn, how you doing? Yes, GameStop is definitely being manipulated. All right, so I'm sorry. All right, so what other questions do we have tonight? Evelyn, I'll get back to you because I'm broadcasting on IG, on Facebook, and on YouTube. So no, that's not funny, Miss Edith. People calling me calamari is not funny. Now, see, I shared that with y'all, right? That was supposed to be a secret, right? Now you out here putting my business out on the street. JS Choops, how you doing? Yo, what's up, nephew? Stacey Donald Jr., how you doing? Good to see you, man. I ain't seen you in forever. I need to put my eyes on you. Thank you, Priscilla. Thank you for sharing. All right, y'all. So what other questions y'all got? Or do y'all just want me to sit up here and just talk all night long? I don't want to do that. I'd rather talk with y'all than to y'all. Boss Up Biz, I'm on Facebook, and I'm also on YouTube. You can find me on YouTube at Kamari Ellis, and you can find me on Instagram. No, sorry, you're on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook at Kamari Ellis, the Finance Rebel. And Kamari is spelled Camari, not calamari, Kamari. For all you jokesters out there. All right, Kamari Ellis, ELLIS, like the island. All right, appreciate you, Priscilla. What's up, homeboy? How you doing, Eric? Thad asks, what is a good strategy? A good strategy is to buy good businesses, invest for the long term, and don't try to be super duper fancy or super duper fly. That's what I say it is. Learn the fundamentals, learn the basics. Once you learn the basics, then I would say it's okay to start trading. But I've run into so many people. I run into so many people who don't understand the basics of the market. I run into so many people who got in the call options or put options, or just options in general, and they don't understand the market. But that's what happens with people that, kind of run into the whole thing with Reddit. It's really, really sad, but they don't understand the market. And then they make up these narratives, and the media pushes these narratives, right? Y'all know I call the media the devil. The media likes to shame bad people just for the sake of a good story. If it bleeds, it leads. But they'll put out these narratives that are totally untrue. Oh man, I got a lot of family on tonight. What's up, on Gary? How you doing? How you been? Happy New Year. All right, so Dwight says, my son made a killing off EA stock. They have come up with an agreement that takes care of college athletes. That's great. That's awesome. Congrats, Dwight. That's great stuff. All right, so we got a question over on Instagram. All right, so if GameStop falling, you think the same thing is going to happen with Nokia, AMC, and BlackBerry? That's what all the talk's about on Reddit with the Wall Street vets. Well, it's Wall Street bets, but they've all fallen. AMC's fallen. I'll pull up a chart. I will pull up a chart so we can talk about it and we can cycle through them. Trey, I know you're not on. I know you're not on Instagram. You are on Instagram. I know you are not on Facebook or YouTube. Now, why y'all asking me? Y'all asking me political stuff now. What do you think of Charles Blow Great Migration Theory? I think it's cool. So for y'all who don't know, Charles Blow is a black man who was a great journalist. If y'all don't know, also I am a member of Philadelphia Black Journalists Association. So I have a great affinity for journalists, especially black journalists, because they tell the stories about our community that are often forgotten about and missed by mainstream media, right? So Charles Blow is a part of them. So I'm a big Charles Blow fan. All right. And so this question that Don Johnson asked me is coming from, it was either the Finance Rebel Academy group on Facebook, which I host, or either the Black Wealth Project Facebook group, which I'm one of the co-hosts. I think the White put it up. And so Charles Blow says that, and I haven't read the book yet, I'm just going off with the White synopsis. Charles Blow's theory is that most black people should move back down south. But that's where most black people are, because it would give them a greater advantage from politics and also economically. I'm not mad at that. Basically, to create a whole bunch of other Atlantas. Now, in theory, I love Atlanta just for the way, shape, size, and color and complexion and the way they do things. But that also came about because they had great leadership in terms of politics. Maynard Jackson was a wonderful mayor who made the powers that be spend money with black-owned businesses. Sadly, many other northern black towns haven't had that same kind of moxie or gumption. We got Marion Barry in D.C. who did his thing. Despite all of his troubles, people still love that man when Chocolate City was actually chocolate. All right. And we haven't really seen much of that any further north than that for various reasons. For various reasons. So, all right, let me answer Trey's question. I wanted to answer that one real quick. Give me 1 second as I log in to my trading platform. Oh, this looks ugly. So give me 1 second, y'all. I had to reset all my stuff and everything looks off. Everything looks off. So give me 2 seconds. All right. I think I fixed most of it. All right. So we want to look at, you said AMC and Nokia. So if we were paying attention yesterday, and I think AMC jumped a little bit today. I didn't watch the markets much today. I was on the phone with the IRS for a large part of the day, but let me share this real quick. Let me share the screen. Let's go to the tape. EMC knows one. How are you? Miss Gail says, I want my 401k to do more than it is going now. Can I make directives like that? I don't trust the advisors of my company. You can, you don't have as much options. You can only use the options that are given to you in your 401k plan. However, you can get pretty savvy in your 401k if you learn what you're doing. We definitely can talk about that offline with Scales. All right. So, Don, I hope I answered your question. Don, what do you think about the Great Migration theory? Put that in the chat for us. And at some point, I want to read that book. It'll probably be sooner than later. And we definitely can have a conversation about that as well. All right. So this gets a little murky. So let me see if I can blow up the screen. All right, so I think everybody can see that. This is AMC. All right, so today AMC closed at $8.97. And today is the 3rd of February, y'all. On the 27th of January, just a few short days ago, AMC closed at $19.90, almost $20, and it fell by up to 50%. And so that fell. Let's see what else we got here. GameStop. Let's look at GameStop. Pull GameStop up. GameStop, like I told y'all, is below $100. Last week, it hit a high of $265. All right. Matter of fact, it hit a high of $347. Right. So we were seeing all these triple digit days. That's not natural. That's not normal. That's not healthy. All right. So on the 27th, it closed at $347.51. So, and today it closed at $95. Really rough. Really rough. So what was the other one you asked about, Trey? Nokia, I believe, right? Now, Nokia is a squirrely one because there's so many. I think it's this one that's trading. I'm not sure if it's an ADR or not. $4. And it had a big jump on the 27th. Yeah, so yeah, that's probably it. So yeah, you're seeing all of these companies that the Reddit crew got behind, pumped up, and now they're down. Now, one of the things that I thought was really, really interesting, y'all. Again, I thought was really interesting about all this Reddit stuff with GameStop. One of the biggest shareholders in Reddit is a freaking hedge fund. Go figure. But I thought this was the little man trying to take out the hedge fund guys, trying to take out the 1%ers. So listen, behind all hype, I believe there's somebody trying to put money in their pocket. So just be careful about how you get caught up in people's delusions of grandeur or schemes. Right. So Karan says AMC is like $8. All right. So Thad says use the paper trade option to learn options. Yeah. I will say this though. Paper trading is cool. Paper trading is like theory. All right. You get to learn a theory. When you're putting your money on the line, you're going to deal with a whole other set of things. Those things are called emotions. Anytime your money's at stake, you are not going to act the same. 9 times out of 10. If you're really good, you have a high EQ or emotional quotient. If you have high emotional intelligence, you might be able to do it. But I say start small. Start with a little bit of money. That's why I say start with investing first. Put your money at stake there. Get used to the markets. Learn the markets, and then potentially move to trading, if you so are inclined. All right, hold on. Let me get the White says, by the way, I'm super geeked that me and my son can talk about stocks and money. Yeah, I talked to my oldest son about stocks and money. They become the dad's preaching at me again session. Because he likes to buy stuff. He sees it on the news, but he don't want to do no research. So the White, I'm sure your son's doing research. All right, so Wanda says, what do you think about public stock since it is supposed to be boycotted because of the errors? I haven't seen any of that. But let's pull it up real quick. But Publix is not to be confused with Public that we talked about earlier, which is a trading platform. Publix is a supermarket, y'all. So what they talking about? All right, public errors, donations. Oh, is this the one that gave to Trump? Yeah, this is the one that gave to Trump. Yeah, they should boycott her. They should boycott all Publix. And listen, to be fair, I'm sure there's a lot of good people that work in Publix that work hard at their jobs. So sadly, even though I do believe in financial punishment, sometimes you got to have a little grace and a lot of forgiveness for some people for the sake of the people who will have collateral damage. If y'all get what I'm saying, I can care less about the heiress. The heiress is cool. She putting her money willy-nilly anywhere and don't care about folks. But the people that work at Publix, the people who would potentially be laid off, the people that would be fired as a result of a true mass layoff, I don't know. I don't know, folks. I tell you all the time, I believe in people over profits all the time. People over profits. So, I'm conflicted about that one, just to be honest. I would have had to sit and contemplate that one a little bit longer. Winfred Rose says they still have sundown towns here in the South. I believe it. I'm sure they do. But what would happen if you had a mass influx of Black folks in those sundown towns, especially in a 2021? I think things would definitely have to look up. Listen, the majority of Black folks, or the biggest populated Black town in this country, is Houston. It's very progressive. Next is Atlanta. And then it's, I want to say Memphis, not Memphis. It's, I can't think of the rest of the top five. But I think things will change. Dr. Clore Anderson kind of talks about something different. Dr. Clore Anderson wants to put in a high-speed railway between it's either Texas and Georgia or Texas and Florida. So it's all interesting. Mayor for life. Yep. All right, Adrian says, well, I'm not too enthused about the South. If anything, I may become an expat. Now, you talk about language. Now, Don will tell you, that's what I said earlier. I need somewhere with some sun and just a break from white supremacy for a little while. Just a little while. So, I don't know. Mid-Atlantic, how you doing? Welcome. Papillion 0512 says, I want to know about that as well. You want to know about what? 401k? All right, maybe I will do a 401k class. And everybody would have to bring their statements, because I know, like I used to do a lot of 401k and retirement training at a lot of major institutions many, many years ago. And the number one complaint everybody had was nobody would come out and talk to me about my 401k. But since I was one of those guys, I didn't do a whole lot of counseling. I was one of the trainers. I also know on the flip side that nobody would also show up to their meetings when it came time to sit down with the 401k people when they came on campus or came to your job. So it's kind of hard. And I understand that employees have to work and schedule it and do things like that, but you got to do both. So Brother Wayne 215, how are you, sir? But yeah, Adrian, my goal is to become a global citizen. It's so much more to life than just the United States. And, listen, the United States is cool, but so is Cuba, so is Colombia, so is Ghana, so is Vietnam, so many other places around the world. I would love to be able to experience them all. Let's see here. All right. Anybody else got any other questions? So Don done got me started talking about my Black theories and stuff. What's up, Latoya? That's my tax sister right there. How you doing? All right, Miss Edith says, I have a finance question. Debit card or credit card, which one is better? It depends on the situation. It truly depends on the situation. If you have a credit card and you're responsible for that credit card, you can get points off that credit card. The people who are pretty financially sound, people who are financially sound and astute, they will do all their spending on their credit card, paid off at the end of the month, but they got a bunch of points, right? So instead of spending money out of their account, they let their account I'm messing up, y'all. They let their money sit in their account every time they get paid, right? They spend everything off of their credit card. They have large enough credit card balances to do that, but they'll pay their utilities, they'll buy their gas, they'll get their groceries, they'll take their lady, the significant other, their partner out to dinner, breakfast or lunch, all on a credit card. At the end of the month, they'll make one payment, they'll pay it all off. Now, I'm not saying any of y'all do that because I don't know how responsible you are going to be. There's a reason why consumer debt, mainly credit card balances, is up to $14 trillion. Trillion with a T, y'all. So it takes a really, really astute person to do that, a really disciplined person. And that is not a knock on any of you all, right? What I'm saying is that you got to be honest with yourself. Everything ain't for everybody. Everything ain't for everybody. All right, so Karan says, I don't necessarily like the idea of the Great Migration. There were great Black communities all over the country once. My family has been in Newark basically since slavery. Yeah, I get it. But we also have to acknowledge that the majority of, there was smatterings of Black folks that lived above the Mason-Dixon line, for the most part, right? And the majority of Black folks lived down south. And when the Great Migrations happened, right, basically Black folks was running from the Klan and running from Black codes and running from all the vicious and terrible laws in the South and terrible people in the South. They came up north, and it changed the whole complexion of urban cities forever, right, since then. Now listen, this is Wealthy Wednesdays. Y'all tell me what other finance show, black, white, green, yellow, or any other color, that y'all can go to talk about stocks and talk about the Black Great Migration. And I ain't lost a step yet. That shows y'all I'm a super nerd. I ain't got a life, y'all. I read too many books. All right. So Priscilla wants CRLBF. CRL, that's the real estate company, isn't it? CRLBF. Oh, that's Cresco Labs. Ooh. Let's look at it. Let's look at it for a minute, Priscilla. There's your Cisco Labs. All right, so Cisco Labs closed today at $13.85. It looks like it hit close to that last week. So it seems like that $14 range is a bit of a level of resistance for that stock. Now, everybody that you're watching, you're looking at a daily chart, right? So each one of these bars, these are candlesticks, right? So each one of these candlesticks represents a day's worth of data. And so I have my crosshairs on this day here, February 3rd. And when you look to the left on the screen, you can see it opened at $13.80. It had a high of $14.26. It hit a low, right? A low of, where'd it go? I took my crosshairs off it, sorry. It hit a low of $13.74 and it closed at $13.85. Not bad. Now now I switched it to a monthly chart. So now each one of these bars represents 1 month's worth of data. Oh no, oops. Let me switch this up. I know what I gotta do now. That went to a minute. Wrong M. So this just started trading in December of 2018. Okay. Oh, Ms. Gales, you're following, huh? Started out at $5. Not bad. I would want to see this cross over. So it's at an all-time high, roughly. So I would want to see this crossover. I would want to see this firmly move above this. Oh man, what is it doing? Right, I would want to see it move above this 1427 level because that's an all-time high for it. Now, if you look back here in April of 2019, it got to $14.39. And this month again in February, it got to $14.26. So I would want to see it get above that high. Oh, Let me look at Joe in January. Actually, in January, it was again around 1438. So it's having problems around this $14 level. I would want to see it clearly break above that. Just looking at the technicals, I haven't looked at the fundamentals. We'll get to that in just a second. But on the technical side, it's just a technical chart. I would want to see it move above that level before I would begin to invest in it. Just my thoughts. Again, this is not investment advice, folks. I'm not telling you to buy or sell any of these investments. Just this whole show is about entertainment. It's for entertainment purposes only. All right. So and I feel like we've looked at Cresco before. Somebody somewhere has asked me about this. One of y'all have asked me about this. All right, so I'm going to pull this up, right? So one of the things I always tell y'all to do, you can easily look at a finance yahoo.com to get any information on the stock, at least a preliminary look of the information on the stock to say, hey, they have no money. Hey, they have some money. Hey, they got their act together. Hey, maybe they don't. Why did they do that? What is the stock? What is it? CRL. CRLBF. Wow, this is a pink sheet. Wow. Okay. All right, so let's look at it real quick, y'all. Give me 1 second so I can switch gears. And I will pull this up on the screen as well. My apologies to everybody on IG. Maybe one day the technology will be around so I can share all my screens. But if you can, go on over to YouTube. You can see everything I'm doing live and direct. All right, so I have Cresco Labs. I don't even know what Cresco does. Somebody fill me in. Put it in chat what it does. What's their company about? So I'm looking at them right now. They are roughly a $3 billion company. They have a $3 billion market cap. No dividends, no earnings. Previously, I told you about the trading range already. Closed at $3.50. Let's go to the profile. What does the profile say? What did they do? Okay, they're a drug manufacturer. Is this something about COVID, y'all? All right, so let's see. Cresco Labs, together with its subsidiaries, cultivates, manufactures, and so why did I know this? Sells marijuana, sells cannabis, and medical cannabis products. That's why I've heard of it. In the United States, it offers cannabis and flowers, live concentrates, and liquid live resins under the Cresco and Reserve brands, soft gels, tinctures. All right, it's a weed company. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with the green. I have no problem with it. Did anybody see Tilray today? Did anybody see Tilray today? So, all right, so let's look at this. So it's a marijuana company. They have made $350 million over the last 12 months, last trailing 12 months. But it looks like they still have a loss. So they're not making any money, which is to be expected. They're relatively new. Let's see how much money they have in assets. All right, so their last reporting quarter ended 9/30/2020, and they had roughly $57 million, almost $58 million on hand. So they got a little bit of cash. So the question you always want to ask yourself when you're looking at the cash on hand is how much cash are they burning through? Right, because remember I told you they are at a loss. So they're burning through about $61 million, right? When you look here, and they only have about 57 billion. So they're going to be lopsided, right? They're not going to have enough money to make ends meet, right? Companies go through that too, just like people. So they might have to break open the beans and rice to survive, and maybe go begging a little bit, which means that they might have to cut back on some things to keep going. Sean Mack, what's up, man? Novelling Ella. How are you? Triple N Realtor. How you doing? How's everybody doing? Thank you all for joining. We just here. We talking about some money. We talked about a lot of things tonight. We talking about money. We talking about the black migrations. Again, what show can y'all go to and watch and talk about all those things? And I don't think I lost a step. Hey, Latoya, I think I spoke to you already, but hey, again, can't say hi enough. I didn't touch any of those stocks. Good, smart. Listen, y'all, one thing, right? One thing that's always going to happen in these markets, you're going to see people say, oh man, that's hot. I need to get a piece of that. But if that's not part of your strategy, that wasn't something you was looking at, you should just let it go on. Y'all know I use the analogy, right? It's like you the guy that's got a girl, you in high school, you and your girlfriend been going steady for some time. Y'all been doing great. New girl comes to school. She's hot. She's fine. She got a body that's smoking. And then all of a sudden your attention gets diverted. All the while, the young lady or young man or young whatever, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, has been stable, has had your back the whole time. And there you go getting new on them. It's funny how life repeats itself in every facet of things. But we see it all the time, right? Because people love that new shiny object. I don't care if it's a girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, car, lawn, right? Your grass. Like a lot of people keep up with their grass, try to keep up with their neighbors, right? Clothing, jewelry, no matter what it is, everybody always wants to try to either get what somebody else has or do one up better. Now, I wanted to show y'all this because we talked about Charles Blow, right? We talked about my affinity to journalism. And you have some people in my organization that considers me a journalist because I do try to put some things in perspective and always tell the truth. But I got featured on the Philadelphia Sun this last Sunday. I'm not the big dude, the big head on top. I'm the guy on the bottom with the big head, the big bald head. But this is my first newspaper cover. It's not a magazine. Some people thought it was a magazine. First newspaper cover. So that was pretty cool. So listen, if anybody has any questions, comments, or concerns, throw them in the chat. But it was really big for me, and I'm proud of that moment because I am a member of the board. I'm the treasurer of the Philadelphia Association of Black Journalists, which is the founding chapter of the National Association of Black Journalists. And, we work, y'all. We do some things. But the Philadelphia Sun is one out of two black newspapers in the Philadelphia area. So I'm proud. I'm proud I got to make my cover on a black-owned business, on a black newspaper. I'm cool with that. I'm so cool with that. Now, my first print article, was in the Philadelphia Inquirer last year, and I wrote about the mummers. And if anybody is from Philly or knows about the mummers, I hate the mummers. And I don't care if anybody hears me say that. We go to war almost yearly. They don't like me, and I don't like them. And I'm fine with that. All right, so Don says, I have already started. I've been telling people to move down south for a while. Never really looked at it from a political stance. Yeah. I mean, listen, politics is a part of everything we do in life. King, you know what? I don't know how to say your whole name. I know your name is King Heaney Stafford. All right, so he says Publix always be the shit, man. So Publix is good. All right, I never had a Publix hoagie. Houston, Atlanta for sure, absolutely. All right. Hey, Tiffany, how you doing? Been listening. All right, just not speaking. Why you being shy? What's up with that? Come on now. You know your mama treated you better than when you come into the house, you got to speak to folks. You got to speak to folks. All right. It looks like it jumped on me, but let me get back to my comments jumped on me rather. Okay. Winfrey says sign me up for the 401k clinic. All right. Listen, do me a favor. Do me a favor, y'all. Everybody who's interested in the 401k, do me a favor. Text 401k 215-974-0058. Again, 215-974-0058. Let's see. All right, we got some more questions. All right, let's see. What questions do we have? Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm just catching up on the stream. It jumped on me a little bit. All right, so Ms. Edith says in New York, they get the staff for 401k, insurance, etc., because they always bring food. Right. I used to bring food too. Food is like the trick in everything. And when you're going to these big corporations, even some of the small ones, I had some small doctors and dentists that were my clients as well. It worked sometimes. Latoya says, what do I think about KIQ? I don't think I'm familiar with KIQ. Is that Kelso Technologies? Don't pass the smell test. It's a penny stock. I don't do penny stocks. Me no do penny stocks. Me no like penny stock, man. Nope. I'm gonna tell you why. If you look, penny stocks are very, very prone to pump and dump. Penny stocks are prone to what happened to GameStop, to AMC last week, except they were bigger companies, right? Y'all do me a favor. Y'all Google 50 cents penny stocks. Y'all Google 50 cents penny stocks. I say penny stocks are the spawns of the devil. They are very easily susceptible to pump and dump scenarios. You get these promoters out here that want to get the action going about pump and dump. They go into rooms like Reddit, some of the old AOL chat rooms, some of the old Yahoo chat rooms, and they start talking about the stock. They usually don't have a whole lot of volume on them, just like an AMC, just like an Amazon. And they can easily start buying a little bit, and it will push up the stock. Again, the stock market is just, supply and demand. That's all it is. That's all it is. So no, it's 85 cents though, but I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't use your money to buy it, Latoya. I'm just saying. All right, Winford says, any advice on how to fight growth of property tax? Winford, you're not going to like my answer. So Winford, where are you from? I'm from Philadelphia, right? People in Philadelphia, we've got a little bit of property tax because we're starting to see more assessments, because we finally, after decades and decades of people leaving our great city, started to get some population growth because of certain things the city did to make Philadelphia more sexy. And that started a bit of a boom and a bubble. But I would say your best way to fight property tax, one, a lot of times, depending on where you're at, you can petition your local government. Sometimes they have plans or payment programs or tax abatement options, things like that. But two, make more money. And I'm not trying to be facetious. I am not. But depending on where you live, like I live in Philadelphia, urban cities, well, I live outside of Philadelphia, but I'm in the Philadelphia area. Urban cities, right now, they're going to see a trend of people coming back to urban cities because many, many people moved out of urban cities into where the suburbs. Now, COVID might be throwing a little bit of a monkey wrench, but the overall trend was people were moving out of the suburbs because of property tax, moving back into the city because they wanted a better quality of life. And so they wanted to, have more freedom. They want to be able to walk to the store instead of driving past 10 maple trees and up the rainforest to get to a Wegmans or a Walmart. But now, again, that trend is reversing. It might be messed up because of COVID, because people don't want to necessarily live on top of one another. However, they came back because of property tax, because typically suburbs have better schools. Schools tend to fund, or property tax tends to fund schools. So, I don't know. That's a tough one. I know in Philadelphia, when property tax went up, even though our property tax are some of the lowest in big cities in the nation, they do have some programs where they can offer you some discounts, possibly some reassessments and things like that. So, you just got to keep your eye out, brother. But I would say, look to make more money, to be honest, because those costs are going to keep going up. Inflation is real, y'all. What is inflation? Inflation is the rise of cost of goods and services. It's not going anywhere. In 1993, a gallon of gas was somewhere about, in my area, was about 95 cents. Gallon of gas now, what's it in y'all area? Y'all know it ain't 95 cents. So inflation is going to be there. All right. So Jose says, not a financial question, just a comment. I was able to sort out my self-directed account. Now I'm in the process of reallocating my funds. All right. That's great. That is great. Good stuff, Jose. So you did what I said, right? Reach out to HR or your benefits department, look at the plan document, and look and see what investment options you have. That's good. All right, so Ms. Edith says, I asked because if fraud occurs with debit cards, you are responsible. Yes, that is true. If credit card is stolen, the creditor is 99% responsible and will cover the debt. Is that true? Yes, for the most part. However, I experienced some, I don't know if I want to call it identity fraud, but my card was compromised. They went and brought gas in New Orleans, as some folks call it. I've never actually been to Louisiana, not yet. It's on the list. I'll be there soon. But they reversed the charges and they gave me my money back, and it was on a debit card. So it really depends. It really depends. All right. So Fox says, what is a backdoor Roth IRA? You know what a backdoor Roth IRA is, Latina. You are a tax super genius. But for everybody else that's curious about what a Roth IRA is or a backdoor Roth IRA is, there are income limits for a Roth IRA, right? If you make over too much money, you are not able to use the Roth IRA. Don't ask me what those limits are off the top of my head because I don't know. However, you can always put money into an IRA. And what happens is you can take that money out of the IRA and move it into a Roth IRA in the same year, and then now it will be treated like a Roth IRA. It's kind of like a loophole or backdoor or glitch in the matrix, so to speak. You do have to file some extra tax returns or extra tax forms at the end of the year to reconcile it, just to make sure everybody has been notified and everybody is on board. But it's not that hard. It's not that hard. All right, so Ms. Edith says none. This is why I love your forum. Small, intimate, and full of knowledge. All right, so she said nobody's like me, y'all. So that means I'm the best among the small, intimate, and full of knowledge people. All right, so real quick, I see I have a couple people on IG. I don't want to leave people hanging. Gil Clayton, how you doing? Kai Calbanian 1? Or I'm sorry if I said your name wrong. Please correct me. All right, Gil says, good evening. Now that people are paying attention to commodities like silver and gold, are there any real good recommendations for what to look for? But silver was being pumped up by the Reddit folks too. And there are a lot of people that love silver. They say silver is the poor man's gold because, there are a lot of people that love gold. I don't. So I'll say this, right? I love the data, right? So I am asset agnostic. I don't really care about the assets. And so gold and silver tend to run up in times of panic, in times of political chaos, in times of geopolitical turmoil, and then it tends to level off. And so I'm not the guy that believes gold is the greatest hedge to inflation or that gold will be here when, the zombie apocalypse comes. I'm just being honest with you. I do think from a return standpoint, it can be good, but I don't believe in investing 100% of your money in there. But I would say look at gold. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you look at the SLV ETF that just ran up, let me pull it up real quick. That just ran up the other day. Today it closed at $24.93. Closed at $24.93. And so it hit a low, right? It hit a low around January 15th. You could argue, January 8th, January 15th, it was like $22. So it ran up about $3. So it's there. It's there. I mean, in terms of recommendations, I want to make sure I answer your question. I would look at ETFs. I think ETFs are like the silver bullet for everything, no pun intended. But again, you can buy commodities. You can buy a basket of commodities. You can buy gold. You can buy silver. You can buy, anything you want in that space almost. Somewhat. All right, Core Bull, how you doing? Connect Homes LLC, Lylan, AKA, how you doing? All right, so I see I have a couple more questions here. It's after 9:30. Been rocking with y'all for an hour and a half. All right, so Don Johnson says, I have only used a credit card for the last 4 years and have used the points to start a dividend portfolio. Hey, I ain't mad at you. That's slick. That's slick, Don. I like that. I like that. I see people out here talking about they using 8 points to buy clothes and go on trips. You buying assets. I like that. I like that. I like that. All right, what is Sava? SAVA. What you got for me, Thad? What you cooking up? Sava must be Cassava Sciences, $87.95. $1.2 billion company. Close today. Oh, it jumped, looks like. This looks interesting. This looks interesting. Yeah, it jumped today. Well, it jumped this month, rather. Let me change my settings. Change my settings. And it did jump today. So today it ran up $32, almost $32, almost 58, almost 59 cents. Thad, you got this in your portfolio? So it opened today at $62.74, hit a high of $90, and then it ultimately closed at $87.95, up $32.51 for the day, up 58.64% on the day. That's pretty impressive. That is pretty impressive. Is that in your portfolio? You might have to let me hold something, man. You got $1 for me? All right, let's look. So let's look at it. Here, I'll share this on the screen. Real quick. Give me 1 second. All right, so no revenues as of 2019. So when did they hit the market? No revenues as of last reporting. So they must be living off VC money. Got about $23 million in the bank as of 12/30/2019. Got about $25 million in the bank as of 9/30/2020. So their next annual report should be coming out soon. Okay. All right. Let's see. Company out of Texas, Austin. All the companies are going to Texas. Biotechnology company, clinical stage biotechnology company develops drugs for nervous system disorders. It leads therapeutic product candidate is PT1 or PTI 125. Small molecular drug who completed phase 2B clinical. So what is it for? Blood-based biomarker diagnostics. Okay, so they make Alzheimer drugs. So they must have had a pretty big announcement today to see that. I'm not a big biotech. I'm not a big biotech/pharma guy either, because all of those stocks are so closely related to FDA approval. It's really hard to get a real beat on those. Taxman 11, how you doing? Taxman 11, I think you asked the question earlier and I might have missed it. Let me go back. Did I miss it? I don't like missing y'all because I'm not trying to ignore y'all. Jack, the first three, how you doing? You telling the people I'm writing the ebook, okay? I feel like I missed something. Well, I apologize because I can't find it now. It ran by me. If you have a question, throw it back in. All right, Melanated Allen says 3 stocks I'm hype about. 3 stocks I'm hype about. Real quick, is HYRO, and one company coming through a SPAC called Joby Aviation. got my account looking right. Okay, let me have $1, man. Here's your commentary. The taxman. The taxman says, "What do you think about peer-to-peer lending?" I think peer-to-peer lending is powerful. There's several platforms that you can do loan money on. I actually had some friends of mine. I can't think of it. I forget what platform they use, but they brought a truck. They have a laundry company, and I actually did a whole video for them and helped promote them. And they got some money from my network for their truck, and they paid everybody back. So I think peer-to-peer lending can be very powerful, especially for small businesses. Real DW, how are you? Lola, how are you? Welcome. All right, so yeah, that looks interesting, Thaddeus. I wouldn't buy it, but it looks interesting. All right, so Karan says, what do you think about these other investment platforms like Rally? I don't know about Rally. You can invest in things like comics, sports cards, and bags. One day I'll show y'all some of my comics. I'm a big comic book fan. I'm a DC kid, not a Marvel guy. Grew up reading The Flash and all that. I have developed an appreciation for Marvel later on in life. I got a couple of their comics around. But yeah, I mean, you're still seeing baseball cards, basketball cards, football cards being run up. Not sure about bags. But if you're into that thing, there is a platform for a lot of this stuff. So is it Rally app? What is Rally? Karan, is there an app or something I can pull it up and share with everybody? I can't find it. What is KB? I feel like KB is a builder. So Karan asked about KB Financial Group. Oh, I'm thinking about KB Homes. So is it KB Financial Group, Karan? Folks been running that one up too, I see. All right, so what is KB? Oh, and KB is in Seoul, Korea? How did you find that one, Karan? Let's see. $37.62. $14 billion company. Okay. $14 billion company. What do they do? Financial services, over 25,000 employees. They are in Seoul, Korea, South Korea. KB Financial provides a range of banking and related financial services to consumers and corporations in South Korea and internationally. It operates through corporate banking, retail banking, other banking services, securities, businesses, non-life insurance business, credit card, business, and life insurance business sectors. Okay. So it just sounds like they're kind of like your run-of-the-mill financial services company. They do a little bit of that, a little bit of this. Let's see how much money they have. 27 billion. Be squeaky clean. How you doing? It's a financial magazine. What's a financial magazine, Lola? Oh, and this is denominated in a Korean won. So I'm not going to go find the currency exchange though. So anytime you're thinking about international businesses, you have to know what you need to do in order to get it back to U.S. dollars, because most of us think about U.S. dollars. But I don't know, Karan. I would have to try to get a little bit more on this to give you any kind of opinion on this. I'll look through it, but I don't want to bore people to death, so we got to come back to this one. But it looks like they were losing money. So, but I'll definitely come into it. All right, so Latoya asks, what is RSI? RSI stands for Relative Strength Index. Relative Strength Index is a technical indicator that will tell you if your stock is overbought or oversold. Usually when RSI gets to levels of 70 and above, matter of fact, let me pull it up on the screen for you. I don't know, did I have RSI on the screen? 70 and above is usually oversold territory. When you get below 30, that is oversold territory. So anytime you have something that's oversold, that means the market got a little bit exaggerated and they sold too much. And so there's potential for it to bounce back. Anytime you have oversold territory, did I say overbought? Excuse me. 70 and above is overbought. Anytime you have overbought territory, that's when, it's gotten hot. People think that, it's the next thing since Black Jesus coming back, riding on his white horse with his blood drenched in blood, coming with the rapture. A lot of times people think that about some of these stocks, like with GameStop last week. But let me see here. Pull up RSI. And so people devise all kinds of strategies on indicators. I'll say this, indicators are cool, but there's no such thing as an absolute. No such thing as an absolute. All right, so let me show y'all this. Give me 1 second. All right, y'all, I'm doing all this off the top of my head at the drop of a dime. So be sure to share this with someone who is interested in learning about money or the Black migration or Black history. I can kind of talk about it all. Just goes to show I need a life. I need to get a life. All right, so this is not the best looking screen. I don't know if you can see this, but this line right here on the bottom is the RSI level. If you pay attention to it, right, I got the crosshairs going. As the price rises, the RSI will rise. But you have to be careful because RSI is a lagging indicator. It can give you some direction, but again, it's not the end all be all. It's not the cat's meow. There will be times it's wrong. For example, they tell you that when a stock crosses the 70 mark, which you see here, right there, when it crosses over that, then it's oversold. That's not always the truth. Sometimes you'll see stocks that cross over the 70 and then they'll get really going for quite some time. A whole new trend will arise. Same thing if it is oversold, if it's below 30, right? And it's that level here, if you can see it. Hopefully, I hope y'all can see it below. But sometimes it can get below 30 and people say, well, it should bounce. It doesn't bounce. It keeps falling. It's like a falling knife. So you gotta be really careful with it. So this is just a chart of the S&P 500. I figured this would be really easy to show. All right. I must have missed something. Y'all having a whole conversation down here. So I do. Okay. So Lola asked, do you read Barron's magazine from the Wall Street Journal? I read Barron's. I read Barron's newspaper. I get it every Saturday. I read the Wall Street Journal. I know sometimes Barron's has a magazine. I don't always read it, but sometimes I do. The Fab Nerd, how you doing? Welcome. I don't have on my melanated nerd shirt today. I need to rock that some more. Everybody check out the Fab Nerd. She makes some great clothing. I bought a couple pieces from her not too long ago. All right, TNT Remodelers, how you doing? Welcome. All right, and Melanated Out and asks, why is the 20-day single SMA is single moving average, right? And the SMA so significant, and why do people look for stocks to touch it when entering to a trade? So sometimes people have their favorite indicators, right? So the 20-day moving average is an indicator. Your 50-day moving average crossing the 100, or your 50-day moving across the 200 average. Like, everybody kind of has their own personal favorite when it comes to moving averages. what the 20-day tends to be one of the favorites for many traders. So I can't tell you why. I can't give you the backstory on it, but I know a lot of people use it. I will say this though, like I said, none of these things are the golden goose. None of them. They are good indicators to say maybe I should enter a trade or maybe I should exit a trade. But I would use just more than the 20-day, the 5-day, the 47-day, and 100-day moving average to determine when you enter or exit a trade. All right. I hope that answers your question, Alan. All right. So Ms. Gail says, have we talked about Clubhouse API? I didn't know Clubhouse had an API, but I'm on Clubhouse. If anybody wants to follow me, my username is just Kamari Ellis. I get on there sometimes. I like the platform. It's pretty cool, but I also don't go Google Gaga for some of these folks that are on these platforms basically selling their soul to cap for the next day to try to get more clout. It's funny, me and Karan were talking about that earlier, but that's a whole other conversation for another day. But yeah, I think Clubhouse is cool. If you're talking about the $1 billion valuation, I get it. It's hot right now. People love it. It's the next hot thing. Will it become the thing? I don't know. Maybe. But if you have a business or you're looking to network or grow your professional career, I think you should be on it. At least check it out. So yeah. So Rain Park, what's up, Rain? How you doing, brother? Welcome. Oh, that's their market name? I didn't know that. Ann Jones, how you doing? Welcome. Latoya, I hope I answered your question for RSI. If you have any more questions, just let me know. Don Johnson says, in the security of credit cards are way better. Yes, it is. Typically, yes. Never have to worry too much about fraud. And there is plenty of fraud out here floating around in these streets. All right. Did you go over the steps of investing in stocks? I have several videos about investing in stocks, Ms. Wanda. All you got to do is take a gander on my YouTube page. By the way, are all y'all follow my YouTube page? Are all of y'all subscribed to my YouTube page? I hope you are. If you're not, you would severely hurt my feelings. I might cry. I might really cry if you guys do not follow and subscribe to my YouTube channel. But just in case some of you guys aren't up to speed, let me show it to y'all real quick. How about that? So we can all be on one accord. So you can all see it. You can all go follow it. And you can all know what it looks like when the time comes, when you go up there tonight, right? So this is my YouTube channel. And I have a couple of playlists dedicated to investing. Let me find out. One is, I know it's Invest in What You Know. So yeah, if you go on my YouTube channel, you can find it. It's called Invest in What You Know. And I have an older one, right? It's really old, like old. Goes to show how much I'm on there. It's something like the Investing Basics. I think it's the Investing Basics. But I can't find it right now. And I don't want to bore y'all to death. So yeah, if you go on YouTube and you look on there, there's an Investing Basics playlist. Now that one's old, and some of the videos aren't the best, but the information's good. So I talk about everything from investing to the difference between trading, what are dividend stocks, what are dividend reinvestment programs, all kinds of things. So it's a great primer on getting to understand the basics of the market. And now I'm perplexed that I can't find my old playlist. All right, I will find it later. But what question did you want to know about investing, Ms. Wanda? All right, it said Cresco Labs. What is the stock name? Cresco Labs. That's the stock name, Edith. The ticker symbol is CRLBF, I think. I think it was CRLBF. Right, CRLBF. Yep. So me 3 weeks ago. All right, Priscilla, you got me at a loss right now. I'm stumped. You said me 3 weeks ago. I noticed that came in at 916. Ooh, wow. So I haven't gotten to that comment in a while, so I apologize. If you are still on, what were you referencing? Mary Jane, the show? Oh, yes, we got you. All right. Oh, I got it. You asked about Cresco Lab 3 weeks ago. Okay. All right, I got you. So you gonna ask about Cresco Labs every week? All right. So Adrian says my cannabis stocks have been doing really well the last few days. Gotcha. Correct. Congratulations, FOMO. What's up, Rich? How you doing, brother? Miss Edith, you get on Clubhouse, you need a special invitation. So you got to know some people. You got to know the man next to the man, next to the man, next to the man. And guess what? I'm the man because I got like 5 invites. So if somebody needs an invite, just let me know. But you need an iPhone or an iPad to get on. But there are a lot of great conversations on there. But just like anything else, there's a lot of BS on there as well. I'm just keeping it honest, folks. Just keeping it honest. Yes. Penny stocks are indeed the spawns of the devil. Okay, went for you down $1. Okay. All right, cool. So going back to just real quick when we were talking about property tax. So yeah, Dallas is attracting people. Yeah, I ain't that far from Austin. Texas is getting it popping, right? So I think you're going to have property tax issues for quite some time. I don't see property tax value or property tax values going down or the assessments going down. So I don't know that you can really fight it. The only way you fight against property tax going up is honestly either downsizing or making more money. All right, Adrian asks, I have an insurance question. Is long-term care insurance worth the investment? I'm single, no children, so I want to be sure that I have a little money for my care when I get older. So that's a trick question. The average daily cost of long-term care or a facility, right? A nursing home facility, rehabilitation facility, is pretty hefty. Years ago, people used to buy long-term care insurance from me. It's expensive. Give me 1 second. I want to look up the average. All right, so the average cost of a nursing home is about $9,600. Now, that's in my great state of Pennsylvania. What is it in your great state of Illinois? Let me look. Let me take a gander. Wow. So the cost of nursing homes in Illinois typically range from $3,450 a month to $11,250 a month. And so what is long-term care insurance? Let's talk about that real quick, right? Long-term care insurance is when it gets used when you lose, I want to say it's 3 out of the 4 ADLs. And ADLs are activities of adult living. So like, can you cook for yourself? Can you go to the bathroom? Can you clothe yourself? Can you wash yourself? Like, so when you lose those things, oftentimes you may have to be put into a nursing facility, rehab facility, and things like that. Typically, if you're working on a job, you only have some short-term care disability, and then it might kick into a longer-term care disability after like 3 months. However, most people don't have enough money saved or invest to even think about that cost, and then it gets really tricky when you have a home and other things like that. So I think it potentially could be worth it, right? Because I want to say 3 out of 5 people actually wound up getting hurt. And I'm going off of old knowledge right now. I have to go back and brush this up. But before, the stats were about 3 out of 5 people would have a high probability of getting hurt, so much to the point that they would have to go into a rehab facility or nursing facility or nursing home facility. So it can be rough. It can be rough. It can be very, very expensive. And if you want to go into a better facility, right? I'm sure all of us have had a situation where you've had to visit a nursing home that didn't smell so good. I'll just leave it at that. Many, many moons ago, I was an EMT. And I would drive the ambulance and pick up these older gentlemen and ladies and transport them back and forth to the hospital. And some of those nursing homes were not the best smelling places. Sadly, that's because a lot of the upkeep wasn't as good as it should be. And that's just the reality of it. Typically, the more you pay, the better the care. And that's just the reality of it. So it's really hard. I don't know your budget. I don't know, what your goals are. I don't know what you want to do. It's something you should at least investigate, right? So you can make an educated, informed decision to say, hey, I'll have this coverage, or I don't need this coverage, but you can at least make an informed decision about it. All right. Oh, Miss Edith was saying I got to get my Vittles time for dinner. I actually ate a little bit before I got on, so I'm not super duper starving. So when I grow up, when I want to be like Mr. Don Johnson, yeah, Don's the man. Don got it going on. All right, so Thad's saying I owe you that much for the free game. Oh, the dollar. All right, I'll take it. All right, it's an app, Rally RD, and yes, KB Homes. Oh, KB Homes. Oops. All right, let me get to the questions, Karan. Let me see if I can come back to that one. All right, so you don't have access to Clubhouse. Okay, that's cool. How do you get access to Clubhouse? You download the app if you have an iPhone or an iPad, and you just let me know, and I can send you an invite. All right, Miss Edith says yes, follow and subscribe. Is everybody following Miss Edith's good tutelage here? She's being a very good role model, folks. What up to you too? All right, if you get an iPad, download it on there. Yep. Okay, so Adrian said I did a very short stint in CNA, and I need a very good quality there. So thanks for the info. All right, yes. So you know the deal. You know the deal. All right. Looking at Melanie Alton. All right, so Allen says a good PE ratio is 1 near 15, yet growth stocks most times have negative PEs, and some cyclicals have super high PEs. Can you please elaborate on price to sales? Hey, Tamara, how you doing? Price to sales is just another earning, right? You look at the price of the stock divided by the sales of it, and it'll give you that ratio as well. It'll tell you if the price of the stock is justified by the sales. Investopedia has a great walkthrough on that. I don't mind getting into it, but it's 10 o'clock tonight, so I'm not going to go into PE and PS or price of sales. I will say this though about PE. I don't know that PE is relevant anymore. When you look at a Tesla that has a PE of like 1800, and so let me back up. PE is still relevant, right? But I do believe this is one of those times in the market where everything is kind of dislocated, where nothing tends to make sense, where everything is just like bonkers and bananas. And so again, when you look at Tesla, what's Tesla's PE? Let me see if I could find it really quickly. Last time I looked, I want to say it was like 1500 something. That's bananas. They're not even profitable. People pushed the stock price up so high based on a lot of news that appears to not be real. And, the stock price to me is very, very overpriced. But I don't know that you can always use those things right now, right? I mean, again, things are bonkers. So Tesla's PE, price to earnings ratio. This is the ratio you can kind of tell that if a company, the price of the stock is overvalued or undervalued, right? So Tesla's PE is 1634, 1,634. That's a long way from that 15. Long way, right? So I again, y'all know I haven't been a fan of Tesla, right? Especially with that super high PE. Because to me, I feel like everything's inflated. But listen, everybody has subscribed to the membership of Church Elon, and you can't fight a cult. You lose. So I don't know. Let me get to your other question. Is there a way that, like a self-directed IRA, employee can choose their 401k contributors are directed? How like 401k contributions are directed. So usually in any 401k, the administrators, the benefits people, they pick the options that are the investment options that are in your 401k. And again, you can use it how you want. I think I think a lot of times the thing that people get really hung up on is that they want to have it their way. They think it's like Burger King. They want to do it what they want to do it when they want to do it. Well, people that run 401k plans have a fiduciary responsibility. And so they're not going to just let you kind of run amok like the Reddit investors. They're going to have some kind of oversight over it. Now, you could ask that they put certain investments in to the plan, but they're still going to be kind of within whatever mix of where they are investing in. For example, usually if you're at Vanguard, you're only going to get Vanguard investments. I would be cool with that, but some people aren't. And then, if you are, I'm trying to think of some of the other big, a TIAA-CREF. A TIAA-CREF does a lot of stuff with hospitals, nonprofits, and educational institutions. Their stuff is going to be embedded in those plans. It's going to be TIAA-CREF stuff. And actually, TIAA-CREF has some really cool stuff. We can talk about that another day. But some of that stuff can be really, really cool. But again, it's not going to be like full autonomy of you investing into whatever you want to invest in. But again, most 401k plans, 403b plans, have some kind of match. So that's why you're there. So you strategically use that money in your 401k, 403b, and then you invest the rest somewhere else. And that's where you get fancy. That's where you get a little sexy at, and you can juice up your returns. Potentially. All right. So it is 10:08 on the dot. 2 minutes, we're going to close this thing down. Any other questions, thoughts, comments, or concerns? Throw them in the chat right now and I'll get to them. But I'm hopping off. I am hopping off. Hope all is well, but let's see what else everybody has. All right, Miss Edith is downloading the app. I don't see any other questions on IG. Horace JW, how are you? Welcome. Even though we're about to hop off, I appreciate you being here. All right, so it looks like nobody else has anything else to say. Y'all good? Cat got y'all tongue? All right, well, listen, y'all. I appreciate everyone being here. All right, Miss Gail says this was so bomb. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for that. Thank you. All right, so listen, y'all. If y'all want to participate, I'm going to do a 401k planning soon. Me and Courtney actually are working on a whole tax thing. We're going to be working on how to unlock the tax code. That's going to be coming very, very soon. Courtney is a tax advisor. I'm an enrolled agent. We got the tax game pretty damn put on lock. So we're going to start putting some stuff out because people don't understand the leverage that they can use inside of using taxes to help them create more wealth for themselves, their family, and their community. So look out for that soon. Again, if you are interested in the 401k clinic, text me at 215-974-0058. Again, 215-974-0058. And I will be, okay, we'll do Mid-Atlantic. And I would love to talk to y'all. That's my own personal community. I am of the like right now that all of these social media platforms are crazy. Who knows what's going to happen? So I want to be able to talk to my people, my community directly without have to going through an app or something like that. Because I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. this is kind of like my social service or community service to the folks. So I'm here, folks. So again, 215-974-0058. All right. In closing, okay. Jose said yes, 401k clinic. All right, cool. Steven. Hey, Steven, I saw your thing today. I was shocked by it, but we'll talk tomorrow. What do I think about Charles Schwab? Charles Schwab is cool. Charles Schwab is totally cool. I have no problem with him at all. Charles Schwab, TD Ameritrade. I mean, they're all basically the same. You're all looking to invest. I don't know if you're looking to invest through the trade, but you can basically do whatever you want within reason, right? You can do whatever you want on there. All right, Jose. Jose's here for it. Kevin Gee's in the building. Man, you late. Go get a sleep. I done messed it up. That means I wasn't supposed to mess with you today. But me and Kevin are homies. So anytime I'm late on something, he says, you late, step, go get a late pass. If anybody knows anything about Public Enemy, that's one of their cliche lines or classic lines. But all right, y'all, it's 10:11. It's 10:11. I'm over the 2-minute warning mark. We are closing down the shop. I will be back on Saturday. I'll be back on Saturday at noon, having our Wealthy Conversation segment of the Finance Rebel Show. So if y'all got any suggestions, anything you want to talk about, text it to me at 215. I'm messing up tonight, y'all. I must be tired. 215-974-0058. So we can have our conversation on Saturday. Saturday at noon is our Wealthy Conversations. All right. I am going, y'all. I'm going to bed. Everybody have a great night. So long, and thank you all for being here. Bye-bye.